up, guys? Time to show off a new build. Going out to my buddy Tony for his dad for Christmas. So what we did was we did a custom lasered dial. So he served on the USS Independence. So we did a custom lasered steel dial. And then to keep it classy, did a brushed case, did a brushed engineered band, brushed crown, brushed and custom engraved. Let's see if we can flip back here to where it's easy enough to see. Well, I have it facing where it's up. So, man, does it not want to focus on there? There we go. Got a custom lasered milled case back. Obviously, lasered clasp here. And then we have a one-piece bezel. So it kind of looks like it's a bezel with an insert in there. That's actually a one-piece milled bezel. Set of polished Moldova hands in there. And that's the build. Bezel on this is decently tight. It will turn left, it'll turn right. It is not a click style bezel. So if you want to turn it, you have to grab it and turn it. It is a bit tight. Intended to be that way. This is an automatic mechanical. What you can't see in the back is a rotor that's on a pendulum. And as you're moving, it's moving and keeping your watch wound. But before you put it on, before you set your time, you want to wind it just a little bit, because if you're not active and moving it around, it might stop running on you. So what you're going to do is back the crown off the threads until you hear it and feel it clicking. You'll know you're off the crown tube. You'll feel a little bit of play there. See how you can go back and forth a little bit. At that point, you can wind. And a wind is a turn clockwise as you're looking at it from the side. Turning it towards you does not wind it, but it is a lot easier to wind your watch going back and forth doing these little quarter to half turns. 4 or 5 seconds of this mixed with the rotor movement will keep your time throughout the day. If you do it for another 4 or 5 seconds, you're going to max out your 31-hour plus power reserve on it. You cannot overwind it, so don't worry about that. You can literally wind it all day. It's got a slipping mainspring, so once it's maxed out, it's just deflecting any more input. When you're happy with your wind, you're going to pull it to the one and only click, and you can now set your time. Currently, it's not the right time at all because I was taking pictures and wanting to make sure that you could kind of see everything. Alexa, what time is it? 12:26 a.m. Push it around. Push this in. Wind it down. And that is the build. As with every build, you get a few things. You're going to get matching beads. Entirely up to you how cool you are, whether you wear the beads with the watch. Since this is a new watch, to size your watch, it's not that hard. You'll notice on one side, they're kind of recessed down in, the pins. On this side, they're at the top, but if you flip it down, that side's recessed. What you have to do is put in, let's see, do I have it handy? I do have one handy. You can take it somewhere to get size, but you don't have to. If you have a little punch, it's one of these little kits right here. How it works in a nutshell. Because this will fit like an 8-inch wrist. I open this double lock clasp up a little bit. You'll notice that the pin goes down in. Okay. Won't slip, none of that. You just kind of align it to make sure that there's a hole under, otherwise you're just smashing it into, it won't come out because it's, hitting something. So you always just make sure you're lined up over a hole. You see how there's holes down there? So that when you hit it, it drops out. And then it's loose, and then you just kind of lift it up and pull it out the rest of the way. So what you do, let's say you need to take out 3 links. You put this on your wrist, you shut this, you go, all right, it's about this much too big. Well, if you take it all out on one side, then this clasp is going to be up weird on your wrist. So you want to kind of be uniform. So if you have to take out 4 links, do 2 on this side, do 2 on this side. So what you'd end up doing is popping this one out, popping that one out, then you put them back together, and then you feed it back through the other direction. Okay, you flip it back over. The tapered side that doesn't open up, that's what you put in first, and you just tap it back in until it's flush. And when it's flush, it's not as long as the channel. You have that little gap there where you can open it again. Then you flip it and go to this side. You take out one, you take out the other, you put them together. You take that pin that you've just taken out, and you put it back through the same way it came out. Tap it back in. It kind of looks like it's a little flathead, but it's not. Obviously not a flathead. That's where the piece of folded metal is going back and touching itself, okay? You don't want to ever feed that side in first. You want to put in the side that is rounded off, where it's bent back on itself, right? And then you take those extra links and any extra pins, and you keep those in case you ever, you know, maybe you like gouge one day and you need to swap one in. So that's how that works. You also have micro adjustments on your clasp right here. So if you notice, this pin right here goes in that last spot, but you can move it up. Going from here, taking this past that to that one is about a half a link. Okay, it's not quite. Nah, I don't think it's a full link. I don't think it will work a full link going from here to there. But let's say it's a little bit loose on your wrist, and I want it just a little bit tighter. I walk them over. So me, I'm always using like needle nose tweezers, and this pin that's in here is kind of like a toilet paper holder. Both sides push in, right? So I push in one side as I'm kind of pushing it this direction, to where once it drops below that, it pops back up into the next one. And then I flip this one over and I push that down to where it disappears, and now this is loose. And then it's putting pressure against the backside, and I walk it over until it pops back out that hole. If I need to move it over the other one, I do the same thing and just keep walking it over. So you'll know what I mean once you get to it, if you ever have to do that. But that's how you adjust that. Nothing too difficult there. Once you do it, you don't really ever have to do it again unless your wrist, you know, swells up or you know, put more pressure. You can always reduce that part back out without having to add a link back in. But that's the watch. These little sizing things, you can get them on Amazon. You can take it to a jeweler and ask them to, you know, can you size this for me? It literally only takes a minute to do. That said, I also made you a second case back. So if you ever want to swap out and go to this case back, you got quick disconnects right here. So here's a perfect example of how those things work. But this has a quick disconnect. You see how this goes in and that one goes in? It's the same thing you've got right here. And that little piece that I said you can adjust. This one just has this little lever, so once you put the one side in, you can pull this lever. So it's a little quick disconnect instead of you having to use, you know, a bit of a tong. Which I'll drop one of those in your box too, just so that you have it. This will work to help you if you have a little hammer. Throw one of those in there. Do I have one of each? I don't think I do. But this should have it on it. If one side's like that, the other side's like that. Okay. So you don't have a quick disconnect. You kind of just grab that and pull. So I'll keep these in there for you. But if you ever want to swap out your case back, this ring right here, so if you can actually see it better since this piece is out. This doesn't turn. This is pressure. It's compression. You got a little tab here and a little tab here. You notice you got a tab and a tab. So what happens is this ring is what spins. So this drops down past, see this polished part right here? When you drop that down past it, when that ring drops in here, on the outside of it, it's threaded. And it threads down and it pushes that down as pressure. Okay? So use a caseback tool. You can technically use a little flathead. As long as you have a good angle on it, you don't slide it and cut into that. All you got to do is just kind of work it and bust that loose. And then just, I think it goes around maybe, you know, if you were working off this piece right here, I think that might go around maybe 2 times before that would come off. Then you would just kind of put something right down here and kind of just pop it up. Make sure the black gasket stays in there. It has a little channel, you'll see it. It's a flat gasket. You just put it back down in there if it pops out. Put the new one in there. Push it down, kind of hold it with your thumb. Make sure it's actually down in there. Drop that ring in there. Push it down with your thumb. Push this part down to make sure it's seated as low as it can go. And then start it by hand. And once you get it tight, then put that flathead in there. And just kind of, what I do is I walk this to like there. And then this one that's moved to here, I walk that there. So that I'm not just sitting there and going around my case and might possibly sliding. I just kind of work the same area forward. Once you get it tight, it's tight. So sorry for the longer video. It is a new watch for a new customer, and I want to make sure that I've covered all bases, covering any and all questions. So so if you ever want to swap it out, that's how you do that. So I just drop that into this side. Obviously now this won't go in because that's right there, so you pull this in. Then you let it go once it's in there, and you just kind of find that other hole. And I literally just cut my fingernails off earlier today. And we're back on. So I'll drop both of those pieces down in there for you. And that will help you. This is going to come with an Atlas pillow and in a anchor engraved slider box. So I'll have to make that a little bit tighter. Whenever it comes on that pillow, whenever you get it, I'm probably going to have it on here like this. I need it as flat as possible, and whenever it's on a leather band, I can just kind of tighten the leather. Well, this one, the only way to make it tighter is obviously to size it, which I'm not going to size this. I have no idea what size to make it. So, and this gets all wrapped up nicely where that's not rubbing or hitting the top of that. But anyway, that's all coming together. It's also going to come with a few things. This is watch cleaner. This is good on all glass and metal, so it's that watch as a whole. You can clean everything up on it. Non-streaking, non-toxic, non-residue foamer, as well as a microfiber. And it's also going to come with some fine scratch remover. Now this is for that glass. It's domed acrylic glass, and you can scratch it. So if you scuff it against something, put a tiny bit of this on it, and then buff it out with this microfiber. It kind of just fixes that acrylic. So if the scratches up and down, go left and right, making sure that stuff's going into that scratch, and then buff it, generate some heat with your thumb, and normally doing that for about 30 seconds, and then kind of polishing it off, it should be gone. If you kind of look and it's still there, wait a little bit, let that kind of solidify, and then do another coating over top of it and fill that back in. So that's only if you gouge it, but that's the point of that one. So that's it, buddy. Thanks again for reaching out to me and having me build you a watch for your dad, and I appreciate his service. And if you watching want me to build you something custom and unique, reach out and I'll see what I can do. And if you want to continue to see videos like this, like and subscribe as I put them up all the time. Thanks, guys.